college town with the Akron University in the center of it, and another letter accused it of being the City of Akron University. There's been some tension that's been reported. What is your current reflection on the relationship between City Halls at Akron and the University of Akron?
Well, let me repeat something that I have said publicly before. The University of Akron is probably one of the most, certainly, if not the most important institution in this community to provide the economic growth that we all want, to provide job opportunities. And Dr. Proenza is here with others I know at the university. We're on the university campus. I have recognized that the university is important in our community before maybe others, recognizing the need to connect up the university with the downtown that I talked about when I was a councilman. And some laughed it off. I actually had an idea about spanning the tracks before some consultant got paid to do that or to propose that, because I recognize that the university pumps out really the lifeblood of our community. People come here, students, they spend their money. We used to look at City Hall when I first came in at the university as this terrible institution that kept buying up taxable property and then bringing in these beer-guzzling students. To be honest, that's what we thought. Well, both of those are true to some extent, but that growth in bringing students here, they spend their money. The university provides at the end of those students' career, educational career, people who come in to our businesses and take our jobs. As older people retire and leave, we have to have that lifeblood. If you add to that the research that takes place here, let alone the economic base that's here with professors and administrators, but the research that goes on here, it's vitally important. And I would point to the university as one of the reasons, one of the factors, that we truly are rated better than our peers, our other cities in similar situations. If you are a city right now in today's world and you don't have a major university within your borders or very close by, you don't compare to other cities who do, just straight off the top. The second thing is university has started and created additional opportunities for people and foundations to be able to take advantage of the research and development to turn those into jobs. So it is absolutely important, and there's never been a day that I haven't said otherwise. There are always going to be, and I think this is the important part of trying to understand what it takes to be an honest leader of Akron and represent the community. There are always going to be differences of opinion between major institutions. I don't always agree with Russ Pry. I think he's a great guy and he'll do a great job as county executive. I don't always agree with Tony O'Leary, who's here. I don't always agree with Superintendent Small. But we found a way to work out our differences. And just as the most recent example that I think you're alluding to, the purchase of the facility across the tracks. We've been hoping that the university would come across the tracks in many ways. We were taken a little bit by surprise, and I reacted honestly to that by talking to Luis and telling him my concerns, and we've worked out an arrangement where they're going to keep half the rooms open for 2 years while we work to get a new hotel downtown, and I think that's very possible. We've already been contacted by a number of individuals. So there will always be sort of rocky roads, but there isn't a city in this country, and there's not a mayor in this country that has collaborated more and had more success at that collaboration, including working with the university and the University Park neighborhood, than this city and this administration.
Thank you. Would you like to add something or respond?
Thank you. First of all, I agree with the mayor, that is, that the university is a key to Akron's future. I was interviewed by a high school student for the paper, and he said, Mr. Finley, if you become mayor, how would you like people to think of Akron? I said, I'd like them to think of Akron as a college town. The university is critical to our future. We've invested hundreds of millions of dollars downtown, and we're not cashing in on that money. If we want to cash in on that money, we better find a way to link the university with downtown Akron. We need to bring those people down and despite the remark here, I don't think that they're beer guzzlers. I have graduated several from college. I have several in college and some at the University of Akron. And while I'm sure there's a group of students that imbibe too much, that isn't most of them. And if we make downtown the kind of place they want to visit, span the tracks is a good idea. Some way to bring them downtown, that's what's going to let us cash in on the money we've invested downtown. So I support that. In addition, I want to mention the Spicer Village. Spicer Village is an excellent program. As councilman, I supported that. It's a win-win-win situation. It's good for the university. It was good for the downtown area. And it's good for the neighborhood. I used to mow lawns there in that very same block. I know exactly what's there. And so that I supported, even though there was some eminent domain involved. That was for the public good. That I believed in that situation. And when the mayor says that he doesn't always agree with people, but he works it out, he means they decide to agree with him. And then it's settled. And then we can go home. The relationship he's had with the university, while he says here that he was somewhat disappointed, to me I was stunned. I was shocked to read in the paper that with the largest land deal in a long time that went downtown, the mayor was unaware of. I'm telling you, if I'm mayor of Akron, I pray that I would have the kind of relationship with the university, with one of the most successful businessmen downtown, Mr. Nesbaum, that I would have the kind of relationship with them that I would be invited. Not to take over, not to be in control, but to facilitate there and to offer my advice to them in terms of this agreement and how it might affect the city. So thank you.
I think we go with you first. A two-part question. One, as you look to the future, what areas of the city budget are going to demand the most growth? Two, assuming only limited revenue growth through efficiencies, what changes in other programs will you need to fund that growth?
Say that. One with the second last two parts. One more time for me.
The first part is what areas of the budget are going to demand more growth. The second is assuming only limited revenue growth, what changes in the other parts of the budget will need to be made.
Okay, thank you. The city budget. Folks, we're broke. I don't care if you elect me or you elect the mayor, we're broke. If we weren't broke, the mayor wouldn't have come to us for a $18 million tax increase. And it failed as it should. I opposed it. I was the only organized effort against it. Folks, we can't go on spending like drunken sailors, if I can use the expression. The investment downtown where we give away the store to get the store just can't go on any longer. The citizens of Akron can't afford it. And they said that loud and clear in a 2-to-1 vote against the tax issue. We are not going to continue to pay for success on credit. It can't happen. We just can't afford it anymore. If we want to affect the city budget, what we need to do is address the debt. That debt has been climbing over the 20 years that the mayor's been in office. And what we need to do is to stop growing the debt for starters. And gradually that debt will go down. But at $800 million, if we add interest, $1.1 billion, if we do that, how many generations? You know, it's easy to look good when you're spending someone else's money. Whose money is he spending? Your children, your grandchildren, and your great-great-grandchildren. It's going to take a long time to bring that debt down. And what's more serious about the budget, sir, what's more serious about the budget is this. We are pushing against the ceiling of our debt. I talked to Mr. Hoffman the other day, well, it's been a few weeks ago, and he said the credit in the city's fine. I said, Mr. Hoffman, I have good credit. I have good credit, but I can't afford any more. And at some point, if I press my credit card, I'm going to get a rejection. It's going to come back. We are not going to give it to you. And so the same thing's for the city. But serious for the city is this. If we do have a catastrophe, if we did have a bridge situation or something where we had to address that, we have nowhere to go. The debt limit is so high now, there's just no room for the city to operate if they had to draw on emergency funds. So that's how I would address the budget, sir. And limited growth. Are we having limited growth? We're having worse than limited growth. If we're having over 1,000 people a year leave the city, what is that? Is that growth? That's not even stagnant. We're losing ground. And so in order to fix that, I think we have to address the root causes, and that is jobs, of course, little businesses, small businesses, of which I've been one for many, many years. We are not attending to the small businesses of this city, nor to the people that want to come into this city. We've so skewed the dynamics of our economy here in Akron that people can't compete downtown because of the subsidies given to certain individuals. So everyone that comes says, well,